Welcome to Conversations and Coffee, where we have conversations that are authentic, lighthearted, and purposeful. Our conversations will be engaging. You will hear from industry experts that will have you saying, "Whoa, wow, I didn't know that." Join us, because it's all about you, your loved ones, and anyone who want to stay informed and, of course, living your best life. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations in Coffee. I'm Dr. Joy, the host of this show. I am glad you are here eavesdropping on the conversation. Today, we have Miss Karen Webb. She is a Polk County nutrition educator working for Feeding Tampa Bay. Her role as a nutrition educator is to provide education for all people of all ages, with the goal of helping them eat healthy on a budget and stay physically active. Karen has a degree in culinary arts, and she brings more than 15 years of experience in the food service industry. Karen believes that being a nutrition educator is a perfect job for her because it combines the two things she is most passionate about, which are people and food. Me too. Karen tries to take small steps every day through her culinary venture as a nutrition educator and also her personal journey to living a healthy life. Okay, Karen, I've told the eavesdroppers just a snippet of information about who you are. We are ready to start our conversation with some coffee. So wherever you're tuning in, get your coffee. Karen, do you have yours?
I have my coffee, Dr. Joy.
All right. Well, let's start this conversation. So I want to start by asking, would you like to share more than I've shared with our eavesdroppers about you as a nutrition educator and why your job is important?
Thank you, Dr. Joy. And thank you so much for inviting me to be on the podcast. So as Dr. Joy said, I am a nutrition educator. And so I go out, my area is Polk County. So I go out to every corner of Polk County and I help teach people how to eat healthy on a budget and also encourage them to stay physically active. And I try to do that by not only teaching people about good nutrition, but showing them how to make healthy foods and letting them taste those foods and take a recipe home with them. Because I think tasting is believing. And so I love to see when I'm talking with people about nutrition, I love to see kind of those light bulbs come on and they're excited about it and they're ready to go home and try that stuff in their lives. So, and the nutrition education program is through Feeding Tampa Bay. We do receive funding from the SNAP Ed program, and it's a fairly new program for Feeding Tampa Bay. Just to tell you a little bit about who we are a member of the National Feeding America Network. So we are a food bank that serves a 10-county area in West Central Florida, including Polk County. And we have a warehouse in Tampa that we store a lot of food that is designed to be distributed to people in need. And the way we do that is through we have like about 450 partners, like food pantries and soup kitchens that take the food and distribute it out to their communities. And we have about 60 of those partner agencies here in Polk County.
Oh, wow.
So we provide food for people in need. And the nutrition education part is sort of a natural addition to that, because as food pantries and food banks are moving toward like trying to offer a lot of healthy foods like fresh fruits and vegetables, the nutrition educator can help people learn how to cook and prepare those foods, preserve those foods, and just because, it just helps people to live a healthier life. So it kind of all goes hand in hand with what we do.
Oh, wow. That just from what you're saying, educating people on nutrition and giving them the opportunity to eat those foods at these at the places that you all serve is wonderful, because you're saying you do it for Tampa Bay, but you also educate them on the food that they're getting as well.
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
And we go out where our nutrition education classes are available all over Polk County. We run classes for everyone from youth, adults, families, seniors. I go everywhere to spread that message.
So all ages. Wow.
Yes.
Now, can I ask this? Just a follow-up question. You're doing it in Tampa Bay, in Polk County. Is this around the U.S. where they have these types of educated programs for people in need, or just people in general who want to know more about nutrition?
Yes, there are. I mean, there are food banks and food pantries all over the country. And really, there's, most of them at this point are developing some type of a nutrition education component. So it's definitely going on all over the country. And like I said, Feeding Florida received the SNAP Ed funding to do the program. So we're doing this all over Florida, and it's really being done all over the country. So.
All right. I know for a fact, eavesdroppers, that I've seen Karen in action in one of our communities where she was teaching about nutrition, and she had something good to eat when they were there. So I remember that, and it's just simple ways to do things. But we'll get into that as we go through the interview today. So I want to start off by saying, by asking you, is there a difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian, or is it not any difference?
So, like all dietitians actually, they go to school, and they are certified and trained to provide nutritional counseling to people. So, if your healthcare provider referred you to somebody to help you develop a specific diet for like a health condition you had, or to give you nutritional counseling, that would have to be done by a dietitian. So all dietitians are nutritionists in that they educate and work with people on nutrition, but not all nutritionists are dietitians. So I'm not a dietitian. I have a culinary arts background, but I am a trained nutrition educator to go out and teach people about nutrition. But there is a difference in the licensure of that.
Okay, thank you for explaining that, because I know those words sometimes they are just thrown around. Nutritionist, dietitian. So I wanted to make sure that our eavesdroppers understood the difference between the two. Why is nutrition important when it comes to how we eat, when we eat? We're always eating all kind of good things. I call myself a foodie. Okay. I love food. I love food. And sometimes my husband tells me, you're not eating the right food, Joy. So, why is nutrition important to us as we continue to grow, to get older, and just in everyday life?
So nutrition is important at every stage of our lives, from the moment we're born to when we are seniors and we're older. It's really important, because when we eat food and drink beverages, that fuels our body. It helps to maintain our systems and keep us healthy. And there's research that shows that it can delay or even prevent some chronic diseases like heart disease, hypertension, obesity. Yes. It's really important across the lifespan. And the good news is, every small step that you take today toward good nutrition is going to pay off in the long run. You're going to have short-term benefits, but you're also going to accumulate over time long-term benefits from that. So I tell people, you don't have to change everything about your nutrition. Like today, you can pick a couple of things that you're going to do to try to be on a more nutritious journey, because it's going to pay off tomorrow. And also, it's never too late to start making those small changes. So
I do believe that, because I seem like I start every year.
I always say this, there's no better day than today. There's no better time than now. And so when I talk to people, I try to give, just take a couple of quick things that you think you can incorporate into your life and start doing them. And then maybe add a little bit more on. Life is a journey, and we're always trying to, I try to be just a little bit better than I was yesterday.
That is so true. I mean, especially when it comes to nutrition and all the statistics that are out there, and how, especially about Americans and how we eat, and things that are out there that are negative. So having someone to be able to tell you, what is good for you, and that you can start, just like you said, you can start anytime. Life is a journey. So like I told you, it seems like I start every year. Every year, starting this journey over again. And one day I catch on to what I'm supposed to do. But moving into that, just knowing how important nutrition is, can you tell us, what should your plate mostly consist of when you are deciding you're getting ready to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner?
So there's a great visual, it's called My Plate. And if you're looking at My Plate, which you can find it at the myplate.gov website, it is literally a circle which represents a dinner or a lunch plate or a breakfast plate. And so it's a visual to show you like how much of each type of food group should be on your plate. So on the left-hand side, taking up half the plate is fruits and vegetables. And these are all the fruits and vegetables that you would eat over the course of a day. So I tell people, remember, anything you eat that's in soups or stews or salads or juices, dried fruit like raisins. There's so many different types of fruits and vegetables in the universe of fruits and vegetables that there's something for everybody. So, and those fruits and vegetables provide us with lots of vitamins and minerals, and they also provide us with fiber, which helps us to stay regular and can help slow down how quickly our body absorbs the sugar in the food that we eat. So half the plate should be fruits and vegetables. Another quarter of the plate should be proteins. These are foods that help us to build and maintain, as we get older, especially maintain our muscle mass. Some of them are
right?
Yeah, like animal-based proteins are like beef, pork, chicken, fish. Then there are also plant-based proteins, like beans and nuts and things like that. So,
so not necessarily a meat, because now we have people that are vegan or vegetarian or things. So they still have to get some type of protein, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an actual meat. I just want to make sure.
Right. There are plant-based proteins, and actually the recommendation from My Plate is to try to focus on lean proteins, which would be your plant-based proteins, and also things like chicken and fish. And then the last quarter of the plate is the grains, and these are the foods that give us our energy. Things like pasta, rice, cereal, bread. And there's, again, all sorts to choose from. The My Plate recommendation is to try to make half of your grains whole grains, which would be like, if you, instead of white rice, have brown rice. Choose whole wheat bread instead of white bread. Oatmeal is a great whole grain. So half the plate is fruits and vegetables. a quarter of it is protein, a quarter of it is grains. Now not every meal that you eat is going to look like that.
That's what I was about to ask. I'm glad you mentioned that.
It's really to give us a general idea, to get an idea of, in general, over the course of the day, are you getting enough fruits and vegetables? Are you getting enough of those things? And everybody's nutritional needs are going to be different based on your size, your activity level, your weight, your gender, all those are different. So everybody has like a different type of nutrition they need. But in general, I like the My Plate because it just tells you of the food you eat all day, are you getting the right balance?
Okay. I know someone probably may ask this question. Where does the dessert fall into this plate? Or does it?
So dessert is an important part of life. When we eat our cakes and our cookies and they're part of our celebrations and they're part of our treats. And there's definitely a place for them in our diets, but definitely they tend to be high in sugar, and in added sugar, which means when they're being processed, when they're being made, sugar is added to them. And that is one of the things that the dietary guidelines for Americans, which is kind of the blueprint for nutrition, kind of recommends that people limit their added sugars. So, you don't want to cut out dessert entirely. Life is short. And like I said, that's part of what makes life great. But it's important to be mindful of how much you're eating of that. Perhaps, if you have a big piece of cake in front of you, and, split it in half and share it with someone, share half of it or half the cookie. You can also, though, once in a while, you can actually have fruit for a dessert.
What I was getting ready to say is when you came out to one of our communities and you were doing your education on nutrition, and you focused on, I guess to me, a sweet treat, but it was fruits. And can you tell us a little bit when you came out and what you mixed together? And I'm going to show a video of that, but can you kind of tell us how that looked and what was put into it and why it would be considered like a little sweet treat?
Sure. So I made a fruit yogurt parfait for the participants in the class to taste and to show them a way to add fruits to their day and in a fun way. So the ingredients were basically, I used a non-fat vanilla Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has lots of protein. So I went ahead and chose that. I had some fresh Florida strawberries, and it is strawberry season. So I was able to get a really good bargain on those at the store. And then to make it add a little to it, I actually got some canned peaches and diced those up. So I mixed the strawberries and the peaches together. And then I had some crunchy whole grain cereal. So what I did is I took a cup, I put a little bit of yogurt in the bottom, quite a bit of fruit, and then a little more yogurt, and then the crunchy cereal on top. So it was sort of like to show a way to adding fruit to your yogurt is definitely a way to increase your fruits and vegetables that you eat over the day. But it is like a dessert because you mix it together. You've got the creamy, tangy yogurt. You've got the sweetness, the natural sweetness of the fruit. You've got the crispy, crunchy cereal. So you got all the textures, all the flavors going. That's a great balanced snack or breakfast, really.
And eavesdroppers, let me tell you, when she did it and how it looked and layered in there, it looked so good. And I want to tell you, Karen, when I got home that week, I went to the store before I came home. and I bought, because I don't like peaches, so that's why I didn't partake in what you had. But
Okay.
I wanted to do that because I was like, okay, I don't have to have a piece of cake. I can have some fruit and in this parfait. So I got strawberries, the yogurt. I used granola instead of the cereal, but I used granola. I put honey in there. I don't know if I was supposed to, but I
No,
did.
drizzling honey is a good idea. Yes.
Okay. And let me tell you, that was a dessert for me. So you are correct. You do not have to have, you try to limit your cakes and pies, and you can have more of the fruit, which can be also a good dessert because it has what in it? You told the audience then, you told the participants that was in your class, what you tell us now, what does it have in it?
Well, the fruit has the natural sugar in it, and so it's like the sweetness of the fruit, and then the vanilla yogurt had a little bit of sweetness in it as well. But it wasn't like a highly, I guess really it wasn't like a highly processed piece of cake or cookie in it. So, and a lot of the sugar that is in it is actually the natural sugar that occurs in the fruit and the yogurt, as opposed to putting a bunch of added sugar in it, which you would get with like a slice of cake or a cookie. So
yes, and that is what really got me into eating a parfait, because
awesome.
it has that natural sugar that's there. So it's not like I know too much of anything is too much, but it made me think like, okay, I'm still eating a dessert here, even though I'm eating some fruit.
Yeah. And we want to enjoy our food. I mean, the enjoyment of it is really, really important. So part of teaching people and encouraging people to eat healthy is providing ways that you can, it has to taste good and you have to be able to enjoy it.
That's true. So true. Okay. Hello, eavesdroppers. Thank you so much for joining us for a conversation today with Miss Karen Webb. Make sure you tune in next week for part 2. Don't forget to subscribe and like our content, because the more you do that, the more we get the opportunity to make wonderful videos and educate you on how to live your best life. See you next time.